disinterested and texting and cool.
Okay, well, I actually just unmuted the mic as you said that.
Perfect.
So literally, I clicked it, and then you were like, "Hold on, I have to look disinterested and cool." So welcome to the stream, everybody. Thomas is disinterested, but Thomas has never been cool. Hey, it's another 10 Forward Weekly. For those of you joining us for the very first time, my name is Mike Fadum. I am the man who makes Thomas Baroni cry. And I'm also your community manager, also known as Ambassador Kel. As previously mentioned, we have frequent guest, Thomas Baroni, our lead ship and UI artist on the stream.
I am interested. I'm just, sorry.
And for the very first time, Spartan herself has joined us. Ladies and gentlemen, Jet Levens!
Hi, Jet. Welcome. Yay!
So I just kind of want to start with basically, well, the reason you're here is because Jeremy's sick. We'll be honest about that. But the other reason you're here is because we're going to talk about ships today. And very excitingly, you're the ship person now.
Yeah, that's it's really exciting to get to take over ships. It's something I'm really looking forward to. One of the things I always hoped I get to do and didn't really think I'd get the chance, but now I guess you get to look forward to Ships by Jet.
Which is,
awesome.
if they're anything like the ships you build me for streams, all ships will be broken from now on. Gold gear for everyone.
To clarify, Jet is taking over the systems design side
that is true.
Of ships. So all the back-end mechanic stuff that Jeremy used to do.
Yeah.
So if you want to see a ship with 12 front weapons, I got to tell you, you're going to have to find someone else.
I think 12 back weapons,
11
actually.
is your max.
A ship with one front weapon, 40 back weapons, and it can only equip mines, and only in the front slot.
I was pushing for the 3.5 for a while. We finally got that out. I was not the only one pushing for it, which is part of why it happened, but I was... You're like mines. I'm your girl.
Yay.
Yay! Apparently, Jeremy says you're better at building ships than him anyway, so this is a long time coming. RTK142 says Tier 7 confirmed. Would you like to unconfirm that very quickly?
I will unconfirm Tier 7 ships. There are no Tier 7 ships.
Do you know how many Tier 6 ships Thomas has to make?
Yeah.
Still?
We've
so many.
Yeah, we've got a lot of T6 ships that people are still asking for, even though we just announced and we'll be releasing very soon the T6 Forcha finally.
What? Oh my god! I might not hear about requests for a Tier 6 Forcha chat.
I want it
Thomas!
on the record that the last time I was on this stream and people were yelling about the Tier 6 Forcha, I knew you were getting it.
I know, and I knew too, and it was a great fun for both of us.
It was pretty hilarious.
Yeah. But hey, Thomas, did you bring something special on the stream today?
I did.
Do you want to show the class what you brought?
Yes.
Thomas spent all of his tax return on three-dimensional starships.
What is this?
And another one came in today, folks. So we're going to unbox it live on the stream right now. And by unbox it, I mostly mean, you're not going to be able to see most of the unboxing because the way stream cameras work. But we'll make this happen.
All right.
We're going to do an angelic chorus here. Oh,
Styrofoam!
It's a bunch of styrofoam. Let's take this part off. Wait, Thomas, it's your ship. I'm sorry. You unbox it.
Don't?
I'm not gonna jump in on your unboxing.
All right, here
Oh,
we
God.
go.
Oh, Thomas, what ship is this?
This is the Alita, which was the T6 Excelsior that I built. I designed it with Hector Ortiz. We kind of collaborated on the design a bit. I've always been really happy with how the ship came out, and I'm excited to have a model of it. Sorry, Jeff.
Yeah, I like how your first time on stream, we're covering your face with Starship.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Starship's more important anyway.
Step here.
Yeah.
And take it out. Oh, that's beautiful.
Nebshake90 says he's absolutely loving the Maroni Fed ship designs. He feels like they are more in line with post-movie Star Trek than many of the past Cryptic original designs.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. We work really hard, and it's not just me. I mean, Hector Ortiz, who's designed most of our starships, Fed, Klingon, Romulan, whatever. Hector does an incredible job. You know, it's a really collaborative process between us and him. He comes up with amazing concepts, and then I build ships. Ian Richards, also known as Captain Jam Jams, builds ships. He does an incredible job. Our recently departed Mauricio Tairina, who he still works at Cryptic.
Not dead. He is not dead. Just to be clear, recently departed. Yes, dead to us.
He moved on to another project at Cryptic, but he was also on the ship team for a very long time. Made a lot of really great ships, and
that is really pretty. Oh my gosh! All right, I'm gonna hold this up and not cover Jet's. No, I'm gonna cover Jet's face. I'm sorry. Wow, that is really cool.
Oh god! If you dare.
Yes, you may, please.
So this was a collectible game print 12-inch. It's one of their hand-painted jobs. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Obviously, I have not actually gotten a good look at it yet. So this is
actually alive. He started to open it earlier, and I was like, no, you have to save it for the stream.
Right. Oh man, they actually added some of the little like square paneling details on the dark areas. This was a stock Alita, so it's Type 7 material, Type 5 windows, all Alita parts. Yeah, wow, this just turned out fantastic. They even have the numbers on the
shuttle base, which you're showing me, but I don't need to see it. You can show me that later.
Yeah.
And they're green, so they're actually invisible.
Right. Well, they're dark. They're yellow.
The one back here.
Shadow. I also recently got the Enterprise F.
Which we posted pictures of online on Twitter.
That also turned out phenomenal. So
yeah,
props to GamePrint. These are pretty incredible.
Abstracticism S, is there any way stuff like that could be less expensive? No.
Nope.
Basically. The answer is no. It's already actually an amazing deal. If you want a less expensive version, get one of the smaller ships.
Get one of the standard lines.
Yeah.
Because I ordered this right before they changed the pricing scheme. So I really got a steal on this for the introductory pricing was actually a really incredible deal for all the work that they put into the models.
Yeah, for sure. Jet, what ship would you order if you could?
I would get one of the Romulan pilot warbirds. I've always really loved the sleek lines and just I like Romulan ships.
Yeah.
So for anyone out there who also likes Romulan ships, it's probably a good sign that I'm taking over. But
there's
yes. And then just to address that, because I see that popping up again. Once again, we are not never again making Romulan or Jem'Hadar ships. We just haven't in the last two bundles because we've got to focus on certain things. But,
right.
Yeah.
There are many Discovery era ships you guys will be seeing very soon, and so we've been. What?
I just realized because someone in chat pointed it out.
Right.
Jed is wearing a Star Wars shirt on this stream.
Oh
yeah.
no!
This is called pulling a Rakosa.
Your first time.
Your very first stream.
First stream.
Yeah, I mentioned it to my girlfriend, and I'm like, "But Rakosa does it all the time. That's totally fine. Like, he was the EP. You could get away with it.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean
he was the EP.
But I thought I'd try. You let a girl make ships, things go to her head.
That's true. It's true. You're walking around like you own the place now. Yes, I apologize, Hippie John. They're pointing out that I am using my natural theater projecting voice, which next to Jet's soft-spokenness is a little bit drowning her out. I apologize. All right, well, before we get into the ships, let's look at some fan art real quick, because we got some cool stuff this week, which Jet has already seen because she was sitting here while I set it all up. But that's okay. She can pretend to be surprised by everything. All right, first of all, Charles Eaton sent in this Foundry-created Jupiter station with a Crossfield class hanging out, and I don't know what class that is off in the distance. Maybe it looks like it must be an ambassador because it looks like the new one.
Yeah,
Then the new one wouldn't be in the Foundry.
No, the new one wouldn't be in the Foundry.
Yeah,
it is
so
an ambassador.
Yeah. And then he also sent us Lonely Curland, which is. Have you guys ever seen? There's this meme called Virgil Wrestling Superstar. It's this guy who was not a big star in the 80s wrestling world who always shows up at events with his own table and never has a line for autographs. And so there's just all these pictures of him sitting there waiting silently.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
All right. Resdane, one of our superstar artists, sent us this is the what ship is this?
The Nova?
Is that the Nova?
Yeah.
Is that the Nova right there, Thomas?
You know
what
people are going to start asking for now, right?
I do.
They did the T6
You did the Vor show, so there's the Nova
They're
now.
going to start
Just
asking
waiting
for
for
the
you.
T6 Pasteur. The T6 Olympic.
I've heard a lot
Oberth.
I've heard a lot of requests for Oberth and Jaeger today.
Right, yeah. Keep dreaming, guys. Keep dreaming. Yeah.
All right, and here's an awesome shot of their Cardassian
That's really cool. That's a cool shot.
being badass.
Being a BA.
This is Resdane's brand new Klingon character, which that botleth is aces, as the British might say.
I'm trying to remember, what is that from? Is that the Honor Guard batleth?
It might be. It's not Torgs, I know that for sure.
Yeah.
It's one that I haven't
crazy.
used. Yeah, it's really cool looking. It's ridiculous, but botleths should be ridiculous.
Right.
Like, every time you're wielding a botleth, it should be, there's no reason why I should ever bring this to a fight. But I'm a Klingon, so... Alright. This is a really cool triple bug someone sent us where their captain started appearing in the login screen, which
Nice.
actually just looks awesome. I'm kind of considering suggesting that to the lead UI artist.
What?
That'd be really cool.
Squeeze it in between all the ships you're making.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And all the UI that you and Joe are making. We're gonna get Joe on the stream now.
Yeah.
It's
all Joe.
It's
now.
all Joe.
That's
yeah.
the whole point of hiring Joe. So
Yeah. So that you don't have to. Do
someday
that.
I don't have to wear 2 hats. I can wear 1 starship-sized hat.
That's a very heavy hat.
Yeah, it's a big hat.
Yeah. This is a really cool shot of a ship that I should know, but I don't.
It's Excelsior.
It's Excelsior. Okay. Okay. Great. This is one of the awesome shots Shane Hoover sent us from the breach.
Nice.
I really love this.
Yeah,
Looks
that's cool.
awesome.
Explosions!
Explodey time! And here's another of a crossfield getting itself speed reduced by flying through one of the vents. Never do that, folks, but it looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then Zachary Pierce sent us this awesome shot of the crossfield hanging out in space, looking all pretty. Hey, speaking of ships hanging out in space looking all pretty, you guys want to look at some ships?
Yeah.
You know, there's this ship that sometimes people ask about. I don't know if you've heard of it before. It might be called a Tier 6 Vorcha. Oh my god!
What?
Ah!
You bastards!
All right, so Thomas, I am to understand that this ship was actually put together. It was designed by Hector, but it was put together by Mr. Tobias Richter, who has been coming in and helping us with ships. And by coming in, I mean staying exactly where he is.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Tobias is actually in Germany.
Yeah.
So we work with him remotely. But yeah, we've been sending Tobias ships to make for us. Obviously, like I said before, with Age of Discovery, there are lots of probably I have to feel that Battle of the Binary Stars introduced the most new ships of any Star Trek, single Star Trek episode.
Yeah.
And so, we've got a lot to do. And Tobias has been helping us out. So, I don't know if Tobias himself made this or he works with a few other people under him, and he might have had one of those guys.
I didn't know he had a
build this
team.
ship.
That's cool.
Yeah. So Hector Ortiz again designed it, the Voral class support battle cruiser. A T6 Vorcha, like we've been joking about this whole time.
Yeah, Tier 6 Vorcha, guys. You asked for it, we got it finally.
And it's a cool, it's a modern take in the Vorcha with the kind of design language that Hector's been working on for the Klingons. We gave it kind of a flat, wide head, sort of inspired by the Negvar, but also some of the other custom cryptic T6 Klingon ships we've done.
Yeah, very Cobra-like.
Right. The kind of Cobra head, and it's also got the Cobra neck. And Hector also sort of took some inspiration from what they've been doing in Discovery with a lot of patterning and ribbing and stuff like that. So the neck is very structured, lots of segments to it. And the traditional just auxiliary bridges and mission pods, and of course this is built. This is a T6 Vorcha, so you can use any of the existing Vorcha parts on the ship when you customize it. So if you have the Vorcha, if you have the I think it's the Torquat, but I don't remember exactly whatever the +1 Vorcha is, and then the fleet.
+1 Vorcha makes it sound like a D&D item.
Yeah. Then the fleet Vorcha as well. That has its own skin. So I'm blanking on the name for those, but all of those pieces interact with this skin, as well as obviously the canon Vorcha. So there are actually a lot of cool customization options if you've been collecting Vorchas all these years.
Gotta catch them all.
Which I'll be upset with all of the noise that everybody made about getting this ship. If this doesn't blow the doors down, we're gonna be really mad at everyone.
Yeah,
so.
if more people buy the Ambassador than the Vorcha, I am personally gonna be disappointed in all of them.
Right. So yeah, but Hector put in a lot of cool details, a lot of these vents and generators and things, and I actually like the nacelles a lot on this. And it's just a cool looking Klingon ship, and it also has access to all of the. So since this is the first T5 Klingon ship, this is the first time that the Vorcha can access the Type 4, I think, Klingon material. So we added that there as well as the upgrade material, which I think, I don't know if there's been a Fleet Vorcha, right? A Fleet T5?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so you would have gotten the original Fleet material. Obviously, the Fleet version of this ship will have the upgraded Fleet material too. So actually, there are a lot of new customization options coming with this ship. I'm excited to have it in the game finally and fill in that. It was a pretty big gap. I know people were kind of upset when we did the heroic ship bundle with the Galaxy that did Derridex, and I think some people weren't happy that we did the Negvar instead of the Vorcha then. But finally we have it.
I think Jeremy said to me that there was another Klingon ship that actually makes more sense to pair with the Ambassador, but they were like, if we're going to do another one, it has to be the Vorcha. It has to be. Don't kill us.
Yeah, the Camarag is the ship that Jeremy was talking about, which was it was an original design we made specifically to be an Ambassador era Klingon ship. And we could have done a T6 version of that ship, but it was one of those things where it's like, well, people really want a T6 Vorcha, and not many people think that a T6 Camarag is,
something they're dying for.
Right. I mean, we might do that one day. I don't know, but like, this made more sense for delivering something that people would be excited about.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna pop us into the ship tailor so we can play with this guy a little bit, and then we'll take him into combat. Oh, maybe I should turn the UI on.
Yeah.
Generally, that helps.
So we got the Torquat, which I think that's the Fleet version. You could also we used to sell that in the C store as well.
Oh yeah.
The Vorcha. Vorkang, that's the +1. I really like that design.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
That design is super cool.
And then the Voral.
Yeah.
So you know what we must do.
Randomize.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That ended up pretty cool. Okay, let's play with the materials. Actually, before I'm going to play with materials, I should show just the Voral. Undo Voral. What? Okay, there we go. Materials.
Right.
Type 0, which is all green and foresty. Type 1. Type 2. Type 3, which is your classic Klingon look. Whoa, Type 4 looks real interesting on this baby.
Yeah, we introduced the Type 4 with the T6 Klingon ships.
Nice.
It's kind of an interesting option.
Yeah. And then here's your upgrade and your veteran. All right, we're going to go.
And then if you start adding patterns, and actually I would go back to the Type 0 material.
Sure.
Yeah, and then start adding patterns, and then you'll see the kind of traditional Klingon feather pattern sort of come to life.
Oh yeah, that's cool. And now, random.
Yeah, there's some really cool.
Yeah, there's some really interesting combinations you can make here. I like this. This looks very raptory. Is that what I'm looking for? Let's put that in. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh, that's a Klingon ship I could attach my
some
sails
really cool
to.
Stuff in here.
Yeah.
I think I noticed when I was in there that the Vorcha also didn't have like one of the traditional window options that Klingon ships had, so I added that too as just a free option. Nice. So if you have a Vorcha and you couldn't use Type 2 windows, now you can.
Okay, gonna put a kind of subtle red on there.
You're always good about those little things, Thomas.
Thanks. Yeah, it's
because Thomas really cares about Star Trek ships.
Yeah.
We were in a meeting just now that was literally like, let's brainstorm some new ships we can do, and like it was mostly just Thomas being like, well, here's all these ships that I love from canon that we haven't gotten to yet, because I keep them all in my head like an encyclopedia.
At least I can say that it's my job.
Yeah, that is actually pretty awesome. Yeah. Let's see. I think red on red looks better than red on green.
That reminds me of
really cool.
In Mass Effect, I used to have like cherry red like armor for Shepard.
All right. So here we have my weird creation.
So that looks like it has the Viral hull and neck, but everything else is different things.
Yeah,
the
different stuff from other
Torcot
classes.
head, Torcot mission pod, and then the +1 nacelles, whatever that was called.
Let's see. Kevin Piatz, you've entered into a wonderful example of something I talk about on every single stream. If you reached out to us and say, will you ever fix the costume slot bugs? No, we will not, because you've just given me zero information on what the bug is. If you can give me a detailed breakdown on what the bug is, I can write it down, walk downstairs and talk to Jet. Oh my god, Jet, you're here! Because that's usually my first stop, honestly. What is this thing? Why do they care about it? And how can we fix it? And then usually it gets put into somewhere where it eventually gets fixed. So details, folks. Details.
Right.
All right, so Jet, this is a support cruiser. What does that mean?
So, a support cruiser is, well, from the basic words, it's a cruiser that's designed around supporting people, which is a completely generic cop-out answer. So, beyond that, support cruisers tend to be more science-focused cruisers than anything else as a general rule, avoiding the heavier engineering leans of something closer like a dreadnought cruiser. This was, if I remember correctly, the last ship designs that Jeremy was actually involved in, so I was mostly there for the initial brainstorming and a lot of the concepting on the starship traits and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I remember it was just mostly, I remember a lot of excitement around, cool, it's an ambassador, but we're finally doing this ship. Just all the comments on any ship of we know, we're working on it. We can't tell you that, but
we're working on it.
Right.
Every ship you've asked for, we're working on except for the Nova.
Except for whatever the next thing you ask for.
Yeah, exactly. Until the Nova. Oh, wow, I don't have anything equipped. Hold on.
Red alert.
Okay, so what can we expect out of a ship like this? How does it perform in, say, a combat situation like this?
Well,
And which of these is the console that I should be showing
The
off?
borrowed
Borrowed
time.
time? Okay, I thought so.
Yeah, this is an older build, I guess. It doesn't have the UI for these ships.
Oh, okay. I
No, it's
thought that
fine.
was a cool logo, but all right.
They're-
We're on engineering because I can't give myself ship.
Yeah,
control.
no, it's just weird. It should have.
yeah. But one of the things I would expect out of this ship is if you like the words Tier 6 Forza and you want it to stop being a meme, well, that's one of the things I would expect. There was also a lot of theming I recall going into the starship traits about time, like the starship trait history will be remembered was... it was...
That sounds like my first response upon reading History Remembered is that I'm going to take that trade into the Kobayashi Maru and it's going to be amazing.
We definitely talked about that, and there was some people being like, they have no idea what they're doing with this, and I would like to believe otherwise, because we definitely sat down, and the first thing Matt said, because Matt helped a lot with the Kobayashi Maru, was I'm going to put this on my ship, and I'm going to fly into the Kobayashi Maru, and he went, yep.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's what it's for.
Well, and also it's a good counterpoint to the Herc, right? Like,
Yeah.
if you're talking about the trait.
Mhm.
Yeah, like, because every time you get hit by a new ship, well, if there's 40 swarmers following you,
Right,
then...
exactly.
Yeah, it connects up pretty fast, and console was a lot of fun to talk about and work on, because the whole idea of, like, what does it mean to steal time from someone? We came up with a lot of great ideas, and some of them were great ideas, and any implementation of them would be horribly awful and terrible. Like, there's some great ideas that you can't, like, possibly execute on,
Right.
and I'm really happy with where we ended up with this, because it's...
Like aging a starship in front of you.
Yeah, like some of the times we're like, hey, what if we just did this thing that means Thomas has to do 4 new models for every starship in the game?
Sure.
Oh yeah,
Easy.
that sounds great.
Yeah,
Perfectly great.
We've had that discussion recently, and Thomas, if this is the first time you're hearing of this,
It
you're
is.
welcome.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well,
we've skipped all of these.
okay, good. Good luck getting that.
So what does borrow time do besides like what this tooltip thing says?
So, broadly speaking, it's going to slow down the starship. It makes some of the things on them work slower, like their weapons go slower, the bridge officer abilities work slower, and they have a lower defense, which is thematically like you are moving slower because time is going slower, so it's easier to hit you.
Right, yeah.
And you gain accuracy and weapon buffs and buff recharge because you're moving faster through time, so you're able to be more precise because people are moving slower relative to you, and all of your stuff is sped up relative to everyone else.
Okay.
And so I really liked it flavorfully because I think the mechanics are all pretty direct tie to what the flavor of it's intended to be, and I think it's also a pretty strong console. I believe I heard comparisons to the Krenim the timeline stabilizer, which I know is a very popular console among a lot of our players. And,
Yeah.
And this is something you can move to any ship, right? Once you buy the...
Yeah, that's one of the things we've been trying to do a lot more recently is this console, this hangar pad or whatever, can be equipped on any starship.
That's so nice. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, it makes life simpler for people in general, and hopefully, it makes it more like, you're more interested in it because I don't want that ship, but I like the console, and now you don't have to fly the ship to have the fun console that you want to use or whatever.
All right, cool. Well, we've shown off the ship very well. I think let us switch over to the Federation side of things. I know you guys only care about the Vorcha, but
I think the phrase is Tier 8 Vorcha what? I just Tier 7, so
yeah.
No.
Jay wants to see the tooltip of the console again. Yes, absolutely. Alt Lexington says this is the third STO stream they've watched today, but it's the only official one. That's cool. I'm glad more people are doing it. Oh no, I don't need to manage ships. I've already got it. To space. Wait, I didn't. Oh well. We're gonna watch an extra loading screen, guys. My bad, because I should have just taken it straight to Takara, so we can show it off in Thomas's preferred environment.
Transwarp beaming to beam there.
Transwarp beaming to beam someone from one ship to another ship at warp.
Right. I don't know. Whatever.
Let's see. Can the Tier 6 Ambassador a golden reflector? I don't know, guys. Can the Tier 6 Ambassador a golden reflector?
If you have a material that makes the deflector gold.
I want to say the new Kara reputation deflector dish is fairly yellow.
So there you go.
I might be mistaken on that. Check on Treble.
I mean, I know why they're asking, because the original concept has a yellow, it's more like a copper colored deflector. If you use the Type 1 fed material, not Type 1, Type 2, you can get close with a regular Galaxy deflector. I might make just a material variant that has that kind of deflector on it at some point, but for now it's got the standard suite of Starfleet materials, so Type 1 through 7. It defaults in the Type 7 material because that's the T6 Starfleet material that we use for new ships. And kind of the lore behind the ship is that Starfleet was working with the Klingons to kind of resupply the fleet and fill out the ranks, and looking through old designs that had kind of been shelved for whatever reason. And so, if people don't know, this is based on the original Andrew Probert design for the Ambassador class. When they were developing the next generation, Andrew Probert designed the Enterprise D. He designed the Galaxy class, but as part of that exercise, he wanted to design the lineage of the Enterprise between the original series.
Which is such a wonderfully nerdy thing to do. I need to design this starship. Let me design all the starships in between, too.
Right. I mean, at that point, they knew what Excelsior ships looked like, because it was after Search for Spock. But he needed something in between the Excelsior and the Galaxy class. And so this was the the design that he came up with. And then when it finally came time to show the Enterprise C, in the show, I think it was season 5, Yesterday's Enterprise. They didn't have enough money to build. They needed to build a model of the ship, but they didn't have enough money or time to build this version of it. So Rick Sternbach took this design and simplified it a lot, added a lot more like hard edges and 90-degree angles and things like that, because those are just cheaper to make when you're talking about physical miniatures. And so that's how we got the Enterprise C that we got. But this design has kind of kicked around for a long time. Tobias Richter made a really high quality kind of movie production caliber model of this ship a few years ago.
And he worked with Andrew on that model, right?
Yeah, I think he kind of he contacted Andy Probert and was like, hey, because all that existed was just like a couple sketches, right?
And like a half a model that hung in the observation deck a little bit.
Right. Yeah. So this version of the Enterprise is actually seen on screen in the observation, the gold ships in the observation deck. If you look closely, for the first 5 seasons of TNG, the half silhouettes, or I guess they're full silhouettes of the ships, in gold the Enterprise C in that is this ship. It's not the Enterprise C that you would see in yesterday's Enterprise. Anyway, so Tobias did a really nice, like, high resolution model a while back, and he consulted with Andy on it. So when we started working with Tobias, I knew that I wanted to finally bring the ship into STO, and this was the perfect opportunity. It was a perfect thing to give to Tobias to make, because we didn't need concept art. It was based on a model he had already built. This is a completely new model, specifically for Star Trek Online, but it's still based on something Tobias had already done. So.
I like, too, that in writing the fiction for this, you canonized Andrew Probert.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's not the first time that somebody's done that. The credit where credit is due, right?
Yeah,
and,
right.
And he's just a genius. He has done so much for Star Trek. He designed the Enterprise D. He also designed the Enterprise refit for the motion picture. He designed, like, so many Klingon and Romulan and Ferengi things, and he's just an incredible visual talent.
Yeah, cool. Sir Boulevard says thank you very much for referencing his Jace's issue in that blog as well.
Yeah, I did. I wanted to give a shout out to that. The Sir Boulevard and Drogan 1701 and Kiri Morishita. They make their own Jace's articles for different ships. They made one about Cation ships. They made a TOS era article that was really cool.
Yeah.
But
which, by the way, the next time you guys do one of those, send it to me so I can put it on our website.
Right,
I know you haven't really done one in a couple of years, but do another one so I can put it on our website.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and so they did one for the first one they did was about the Ambassador class.
Okay.
And so they had some background info and things they came up with that Sir Boulevard wrote. And so I thought it'd be fun to add a little wink and a nod to them.
That's awesome.
Thank them for their work.
Yeah. I don't know where the people in chat are bringing up that Jed is here to talk about costumes. No, Jed is a systems designer, guys, not a character artist. But that's Ian. He's been on the show before. Pay attention to the little labels at the bottom of the screen. They'll help you out a lot. Let's see. Okay, well, why don't we take her into a little bit of... Why don't I get my UI back before I try that? And actually, because people were asking, here you go. Enjoy. This will be on screen for the next 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'll show you the trait if I can find it. I should be able to find it pretty easily.
Have you unlocked it on this character? It'd be under Starship traits, not personal traits.
Well, that just makes sense. And no, I haven't, of course.
You go back
I've only
to
had
the
this
ship tab and go to the status.
Oh, I can probably just control click through on here.
You can
just
mouse over that.
There we go. History will remember, folks. Oh, it also gives you threat generation. I didn't notice that.
Well, that's optional. If you don't have threatening stance active, it's not going to increase your threat.
Nice.
That's one of the things we've been trying to do more recently. We know there's some people who like having threat, and there's some people who don't. And decoupling these traits from requiring you to take threats is just
that's cool.
Trying to make it better for those people.
So you can tank if you want, or if you just want to be sneaky but taking hits, you can do that too.
If you get shot anyway and don't want to get shot more, this trait can help you. And if you want to get shot, this trait will help you get shot more.
And if you're somewhere where you're going to get shot a lot no matter what, i.e. Kobayashi Maru, this trait will help you. Hello, Jesse!
Hi.
Hold on, we're just going to take this ship through her paces in a little bit of combat-y, and then we'll get on to your queue.
The Ambassador is my fave.
Awesome.
But Dvorcha, haven't you listened to anything?
Can we
I'm in the wrong map.
Go through
That's
the
why.
Taylor real quick?
Oh,
Just
yeah.
so
Let's do that. Actually, that's probably better because we've already shown one of these ships fighting.
That's true.
Stop moving.
So people were wondering, yes, you can customize parts. You can swap out parts with the Ambassador and the Yamaguchi. If you have the Fleet, Ambassador has extra parts. This character doesn't have it, and you can set any of the regular Starfleet materials. If you have Fleet or Veteran materials, you can add those too, obviously. This is the first time that the Ambassador has had Type 6. There's no, because I don't think the Fleet Ambassador would unlock it. This is also the first time that anyone could get the Canon Ambassador skin from the C-Store. We never sold that, I mean, I guess you get the lower, like an end game cannon ambassador. So I'm excited for people collecting enterprises that aren't part of a big fleet. Like, now's your chance to fill in
Get
that
your
gap.
hands on one. Yeah,
Right.
that's super cool. All right, let's do a little bit of customization. I did randomize, but it didn't really seem to. There we go. Oh, okay. It's randomly giving. There we go. Now we're kind of splitting it up. There's less things to customize here, so.
Right. Yeah. So probably better just go through and.
Yeah, do the Narendra saucer. Oh, move this up so you can see what I'm doing with the neck.
Yeah. And actually, for the pylons, do the Narendra pylons.
Okay.
Because that has a kind of a cool.
That does have a really cool
look to it.
And then the cells, I'm going to do the Narendra nacelles. So basically, I've just made the Narendra again, except for a neck and hull from the ambassador. But still, that's really cool. That looks very TOS.
Yeah. So there's some cool combinations you can make. It's interesting how much less mass is in this version of the ship, even though it's roughly the same length. But like the nacelles are a lot smaller, less ample.
So yeah, there we go. Those are the not the recon support cruisers. That would be combining the last two bundles into one.
There you go.
These are the support cruisers, guys.
Recon support cruiser
and
confirmed.
they will be available very, very soon. It's probably tomorrow. I'm not gonna promise tomorrow, because I don't know what might go horribly wrong in the next 2 hours.
Also, I mean, console players are probably tuning in.
That's true, and for console players, these will be available soon, sooner than you think. Same with the Recon Destroyer bundles. All right, well, guys, thank you very much. Folks, thank you very much for joining me. And Thomas, go ahead. It would be really cool if I had the ability to like cut away as you did that, so it was like the ship flew away. Anyway, I love you both. Get out. Let's get Jesse in here.
That's a very cool ship, Thomas.
Thank you.
And it could apply to either equally that or what we just saw.
That's a very cool ship, Thomas. What, you mean Zutara? I'm sorry.
Bye, everybody.
I'm not sorry. As we eagerly wait for the next person to show up. All right, so we are going to be leaving engineering and going to Tribble, where we are going to be trying the new Defense of Starbase 1.
I hope it works.
you know we've had that happen on the stream before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it was fun.
It's okay. I've brought this so that we can fry all of your delicate equipment and make our escape.
No, I need this delicate equipment for things. Look, see, the Defense of Starbase 1 coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And new support cruisers coming soon. All right. Anyway, you guys can't see any of that, so I don't know why I'm talking about it. How's your day going, Jesse?
Pretty crazy. There's a lot going on. We just have so much to do.
Yes, I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit about Defense of Starbase 1. What was the initial idea and stuff behind this guy?
So the Defense of Starbase 1 is essentially a historical retrospective in the same way that modern military officers might look at Waterloo or look at various famous battles of history, Midway and whatnot, in order to learn about the tactics and about the clashes of culture that were involved at the time. Defense of Starbase 1 is the same sort of thing, so that your STO characters can have a look at the roots of the Federation Klingon conflict as it happened in the Discovery era. Now, of course, because it's a video game, we're mostly looking at the, oh my gosh, let's shoot some Klingon ships part, as opposed to all of the history and cultural conflict and so on. But that's the framework around which this is built. Yeah. So in the Defense of Starbase 1, your ship is one of the few that's in the area to help ward off a wave of Klingon ships that are coming in to attack the starbase during the period alluded to in the Discovery Season 1, where they mentioned that the Klingons have pushed very hard on Federation borders and managed to get
even conquered Starbase 1.
Pretty deep into Federation space. So in our look at this sort of retrospective fiction, the idea is that Starbase 1 is constantly being threatened every few days by Klingon marauding groups, and eventually, of course, in Discovery, it suffers a pretty rough fate. But for the purposes of this TFO, your goal is to help evacuate civilians and non-essential personnel by guarding ships that will be carrying them off of the starbase. And engaging the Klingon ships as they come in. You're lucky because the Klingons of this era aren't completely unified, so a lot of their fast raiders show up first, and you can fight against the smaller Klingon ships first, but eventually the heavies start coming into the fight, and resistance gets a little tougher.
Gotcha. All right, we have accepted the queue. We are going to sit here and wait for it to pop.
If you're a 25th century Klingon, obviously this is a TFO that is of historical significance to you.
Yes.
How did the Klingons and the Federation fight back in the day?
And what can we learn from the failures and successes of our ancestors?
Yep.
That sort of thing.
Also, every good Klingon will not turn down an opportunity to punch another Klingon in the nose.
Yes, it's true. All right. I should probably actually show the briefing because people haven't seen this before. So basically, okay, so the general idea of this, I've heard it compared to the Swarm plus the Kobayashi Maru. Would that be fair?
That's kind of fair, but unlike Kobayashi Maru, Starbase 1 isn't moving around the map. There's not a lot of random events going on. It's just the pressure of the Klingon ships. And in Kobayashi Maru, while the ships actually get stronger, there's multiplicative bonuses that are added to them as you go through waves. In Defense of Starbase 1, the conceit is you're mostly fighting against raiders, small birds of prey, ships of that caliber at first, and as time goes on, there's a short break in the attacking Klingon wave, and then some of their heavier ships manage to show up, and then finally the battle cruisers at the end of the fight. So it's not designed to be exactly a Kobayashi Maru, but certainly the level of difficulty of the conflict escalates a bit.
Yeah.
However, if you're a casual player, this should still be no problem for you. And if you're a player who's really, really into challenges, play it on Elite.
Oh, there's going to be an Elite version.
There will be an Elite version.
Okay. I know we talked about a little bit on Reddit today, but there are no Elite marks for this because there's no reputation for the initial Age of Discovery launch.
That's correct.
So what can players expect instead?
So instead, this TFO will give you bonus dilithium when you complete it on Advanced or Elite mode. In addition to the dilithium that you normally get for finishing a TFO, you'll get a small extra amount on Advanced and an even larger amount on Elite. It is roughly comparable to what you would get if you had taken an Elite mark and used your rep to convert it into dilithium.
Yeah. So I just realized this is actually the first piece of Discovery content that players are playing.
Oh.
Did you think about it? Because it's the first thing from the new content drop that we have talked about and shown publicly and put on Tribble. So that's awesome. You got to introduce Discovery to the world.
Hooray! And as you can see, the ship team has been super busy, not just with the support cruiser, but with the Discovery Klingon ships there.
Yes. And so far we've only seen the Bird of Prey, but we will see other new Discovery Klingon ships as this fight goes on. For those of you who are looking at this power tray and saying, Kel, what the heck are you thinking? I don't know. This isn't the power tray I have on live. I just copied this character over. So apparently copying it to Tribble breaks your powers. Good to know. I'll try and fix it for next stream. At least I still have my shield healing.
Good. Looks like you need it.
Yes. But not as much as you might think. These ancient Klingon warriors do not have any honor. And no more shields.
As you can see in the mission tracker, you've managed to...
Oh, shoot. Now they can see it.
Now everyone can see what's going on. So now, as you can see in the mission tracker, it's updated so that you're finishing off the last few light Klingon ships from this wave, and then you'll get a small breather, and then it's on to the next
wave
one.
Comes with the bigger ships.
Right. So this is a pretty straightforward TFO. 3 waves of Klingon attack vessels. Here, as the Admiral has mentioned, there's a very short amount of time for you to repair and reposition your ships, get out of red alert so that you can activate your Vulcan Hello again on the next wave.
Yes. And respawn your fighters, all of which have died.
And here comes some of the heavier ships.
All right, so I'm going to guess that's not an updated Discovery model that I just destroyed, because that looked like a 26th century ship. So there may be some ships on Tribble right now, folks, that aren't hooked up to their
it's
Klingon
hard for me to
counterparts.
tell while they're blowing up.
Yes.
Blowing up. As you can see there, the Decatur is trying to make an escape. The costume hasn't been updated with a disco era ship yet, but it will be before we launch.
And so we have to just destroy everything in the path of said Decatur.
Keep the enemy ships from hitting the Decatur. And you can see there's a UI element that shows you what its hull is currently at. Enemy ships will come in and try to attack it, but it looks like you've got some real DPS superstars
we got some deeps going on here. We say play with the devs and the players show up.
Right. Oh, someone's healing it too.
Oh, nice. Good for them. Oh, then there's a cruiser right on top of it. Not anymore.
All right, made it out.
Good job. Way to go, Starfleet. Wait, I'm a Klingon. I'm so confused.
As you might imagine, once you get onto elite mode, it's a little tougher to defend those ships from being destroyed. And while the TFO doesn't fail if they're destroyed on normal or advanced mode, on elite it does. You have to get all 4 evacuation ships out safely.
Optional objectives become objectives.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this ship is really hurt. I don't have my boost to get over there and heal it, but that's okay. I'll just trundle over there slowly.
Now, if one of the ships gets badly damaged, their engines will cut out as well. So then someone has to get over there and use hull repair powers on it, or interact with it in order to jumpstart their engines and get them going again so that they can warp out.
It's gone. Well, it lived. My
Yes.
attempts to save it were not necessary. So what, we've talked a little bit about this as sort of a straightforward TFO. Is that because we thought, new players would be coming into this? Is it sort of a design to be a little bit more friendly? Or is it just that really fit the theming of Starbase 1?
Well, both of those are true. For starters, Age of Discovery players are going to see this as the first TFO that's available to them. So someone who's new to Star Trek but watched Discovery and enjoyed it and says, I want to see what this is all about, and they make a Discovery era captain, this is the first TFO that they're going to experience. So we want it to be fairly straightforward, something that you know exactly what you're doing. You don't have to rely too much on special mechanics or a lot of super knowledge of the game. It also means that it is a pretty straightforward look at how things might have gone around Starbase 1. The Klingons want to overrun it. Presumably they would blow up the Starbase if they have the chance. There's not too much subtlety involved in that.
No. Klingon attacks are very straightforward. All right. 3 seconds.
3 ships are away. Only one more.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's an older model.
Yeah, that looks like an older one.
Yeah. So that's fine. So when Age of Discovery launches, you guys will see this with the updated model and as triple updates, I'm sure.
So if you do manage to lose one of the evacuation ships while you're not playing on Elite, while it doesn't fail the TFO, it will get called out in the mission tracker. You will see USS Lafayette destroyed or whatnot with a nice red X mark, and you could feel really bad about the hundreds of lives lost. Good job, Captain.
They should have escaped faster. That's not my fault.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, they're dropping some cruisers right on top of the ship. I wonder if I'm close enough to activate this. Nope.
Someone is just wrecking on those guys.
Yeah, there's somebody here who's got a very nicely optimized ship. I think there's several somebodies here who have a very nicely optimized ship. Although even for my not optimized ship, the birds of prey are popping like popcorn.
Yeah, birds of
Something
prey
to pop.
are fun to crunch.
Yeah, that's what they're there for. At least that's what the Discovery birds of prey are there for, anyway. Nope, more over here. All right, so now all the ships are safely away.
Yep.
So we just have to focus on taking out the remaining Klingons.
Finish off the battleships. At some point, the mission tracker will update and say defeat remaining Klingon battleships. And at that, whoa!
Somebody unleashed that the console
Yeah.
we put out with the DS9 lockbox. I love that thing. It's so ludicrous.
At that point, you'll know that there are no more attackers incoming, and it's just a matter of cleaning up the rest of the battlefield.
It's actually too bad because the I've just seen the Cleve battleship, the model for it this week, and it looks amazing. But it'll get updated into the game. Well, if nothing else, you guys will see it when Age of Discovery launches later this fall.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of people in chat earlier
In the
saying, "We can't
future."
tell you. Can't you tell us anything more specific?" No, I can't. Literally.
So,
Sorry, guys.
did someone drop out, or were you just playing this whole time
I don't
with 4
know.
people?
It's possible I was playing with 4 people, and they're just really good people.
So this TFO dynamically scales to team size.
Oh.
So if you are just playing with your buddy, then you can play this as a 2-person TFO, and it will spawn appropriate amounts of Klingon ships. And similarly, it will use level averaging. So if you've got a friend who's got a Discovery captain and they're level 10, and you've got your old level 65 veteran, you guys can team up together.
Which is good because that means as new players come in and try this queue, experienced players will come along and help them out. And they can go,
We
oh my
can
god,
help.
what is that ship? It's got all these rainbow beams. It's destroying everything. Don't have rainbow beams, guys. All right, cool. So we have succeeded.
You have
And
succeeded.
we will get a Lucari mark pack, even though this is triple and I don't actually fill out reputations here. And you got 25 marks. And we'll leave the map.
Base reward for normal mode is 5 marks plus 5 for each ship that you save during the evacuation.
Yeah.
They're, as you saw, not too hard to save if someone's paying attention.
So Cthulhu, I think you're a little bit confused. Spartan is still here. You just saw her. She was just on the stream. She's doing ship design now, but she's still being Spartan. So she hasn't left the team. Let's see. What else we got? Casey Morrison. Yes, Disco Captains will have a new ship to start on, and you will get more information and maybe even a picture of that ship very soon. Let's see. Let's see. Trying to see if there's any other questions we have to answer. Will gamma marks be a reward for saving Starbase 1?
Yes.
Cool. Yes. So there you go, folks. That's an option. If it's not an option on Triple right now, that's probably an oversight rather than an intentional design choice.
It's on the systems team's schedule to update the choice of marks box for gamma marks.
Yeah. Do Discovery starting ships have 8 docking clamps and a spore intake? Yes. They don't have a mechanical benefit, but they all have them. It looks like the ships that are running away have attract fire on. What is the design purpose of that? To get enemies to attack them?
So they actually have a bonus to the amount of threat that they generate. Essentially, the Klingon attackers in this scenario are very interested in taking out these easy targets, and it makes it so that you have to work a little bit harder, just a little bit, in order to keep them safe.
So it's a mechanical reason to explain a storyline thing that makes the mission cooler. There you go, folks.
Voila!
Yes.
That's how it all comes together.
Cool. Species 8470, I'm working on figuring out why some people haven't gotten their buffs from STLV. We will figure that out. Let's see. Will there be any Discovery actor voices anytime soon? In this match, no. The Admiral, what's her name, is going to be the contact. But Tilly will be a part of Age of Discovery at the very beginning. We've already announced another actor who will be talking more about it in the future, but you can find that in our STLV coverage.
I am super thrilled about that.
Yeah, and there's more stuff coming. There's lots of exciting people coming down the line. There's people we're talking to. There's storylines we're considering. So I think the yes is the answer to the question. Will there be Discovery voice actors? Yes. In this queue, no.
Oh, and this TFO does appear in the random queues listings, so you'll probably wind up playing it a lot.
I might end up playing it later today when we play with the devs. I'll still be on a queue to cool down for half an hour, so maybe not. Cool. All right. Well, Jesse, you are welcome to hang out while we do play with the devs, or if you need to go back to your desk and do work, I understand that too.
Desk isn't going anywhere.
All right. Cool.
All right.
Let's do some random TFOs then. We're a little early, but it's fine. We're 5 minutes in.
Maybe I can help answer some questions that come up.
Yeah. So for those of you who are heading to, I'll just accept all these task force operations so he stops bothering me. Just a moment. For those of you who want to join the Play with the Devs, there's a very easy way to do that. You go into Tribble. There's instructions on how to create a Tribble character on the blog post on our site, StarTrekOnline.com. And once you do that, you just go to your queue menu and click Join Random. And here we are. We are now queuing for a random task force operation. We won't know what it is. Okay, sure. Thanks, buddy. Cool.
Astute players will have noticed that the defense of Starbase 1 is a little over 10 minutes long. The amount of time that it takes ultimately is dependent on how quickly you are able to clean up the Klingon stragglers at the end of an attack phase.
Yeah.
But generally it should take you 10 minutes or so to finish.
Wraith Shadow, Jesse doesn't have an answer to that question. Neither do I. I went with normal for now, but they will... Oh, we're on the thing. I went with normal for right now, guys, but you can go for advanced if you want. I'm sure some of our more DPS-heavy devs, like everyone in QA, will be playing advanced, so you can find them there. Jesse, do you know, this is more of a Jeremy question, I know. Okay, so we're doing the Gateway to Grethor.
Ah, this is a good one.
I don't think I've ever played this one.
What?
I know.
I'm going to tell... Shalana, and she's going to come back here just to smack you in the back of the head.
I don't know who that is.
The dev that made this.
Oh, okay. So I should probably read the briefing if I've never played this before. How does that sound? Okay, so we need to blow up gateways.
Iconian gates.
Got it. And this ship is so big that it's in my field of view. Okay, so let's see. Do we know why the elite system wasn't included in the random queues? I know that's a Jeremy question.
Honestly, because elite level difficulty is not something we expect you to pug, more or less.
Yeah, pretty much. That makes sense. All right, I see some cruisers to blow up. Haven't fought Iconians in a while. This will be fun.
It explains also the Klingons' obsession with the color red. You're like, oh, that's what their sky looks like at night? Okay.
That's what their sky looks like all the time?
Yeah.
Interesting. All of my powers are disabled. Okay, there we go. Just got hit with an Iconian. Something.
Yeah.
So basically, this is how this system works, folks. There's two things to know. If you queue for random, you will be placed into a queue with people who are already queuing for another queue. So likely with this, somebody already had chosen Gateway to Grethor and was looking for someone to fill it up. If there's nobody available, if there's not a queue, like if you're on a cooldown for one queue and that's the one that's filling up right now, like if everyone's playing Infected Space over and over, and there's a bunch of you that are on that cooldown, the queue system will then pick a random queue for you, and it'll actually be truly random. So it'll either be used to backfill queues that don't normally fill, or it'll be used to just give you something random and fun to play.
I can finally get my accolades for Big Dig.
The dreams. Wait, isn't Big Dig a 10-person though?
Right?
I thought no, 10 persons are allowed. I think.
I think Big Dig's actually 20, so that will not be part of random.
Yeah, sorry.
But, but the dream was there for a moment. Should I make Infected Space harder?
No. Don't change it. Okay, yeah, but Jeremy just confirmed it's only 5-person content at release.
Right.
We're working on making it more, but... So I cannot attack this gateway until these guys are destroyed, is that it?
You need to get right on top of the gateway and then use your interact to close
my
it.
closed spawning gateway, which I will not be able to use because I'm being attacked. Or I will.
Because you are so good at dodging.
Apparently. Whoa, look at my mad pilot skills.
Shump.
I have pilot powers I could be using, but they're not on my power drag.
And then that one is creating radiation hazards that will blow up the evacuation ships as they're trying to
so I should
get out of the
definitely go shut
starbase.
it down.
Yes. Or it's transports, that's right. They're sending troop transports. But the troop transports don't know how to steer, so they will wind up inside of the radiation cones there and get blown up.
Interesting. That seems like a terrible design for a troop transport.
It's Klingon.
That's true. You're safe. Well done, troop transports. All right, moving back over to here. Stuart Andrews, currently you cannot set a preference for space or ground. There have been a ton of discussions internally about the very real concern that has been brought up about loadouts and whether space and how you have to switch them for space or ground, and some things are only set for one or the other. We are looking into a lot of possible solutions. There's been some really fruitful discussions, and I believe we'll have something in place to help with that for the launch of Age of Discovery, but don't quote me on it because that might change. But we have heard you guys. Don't worry.
This is going to be a nice way to get to see TFOs that you maybe haven't gotten to play before or liked playing back in the day, but they don't get as much traffic. Because now if you say, I just want to queue up for this thing, and then random will match other people with you.
Yep. If you're really hunkering for people are saying, you know, like they want to play Big Dig. Well, Big Dig won't count, but
Big Dig
Mine
won't
Trap.
count, but Mine Trap's currently deprecated.
Oh,
but,
okay. All right, never mind. Sorry.
Viscous Cycle.
Viscous Cycle?
Yes.
How many puns do we have in this game?
Well,
all of them.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, have you had Ryan on the show lately?
Very many times. Yeah. All right. So, someone says Viscous Cycle is their least favorite STF. Well, you might end up playing it in random queues, but you get to play something you haven't played in a while, which is fun. You don't have to run ISA every day. And can still get those sweet, sweet Omega rewards, or whatever else it is you're looking for.
If you are testing out random queues on Tribble and you find that there's a TFO that's bugged, report it. We will try to fix that. We don't want people to get stuck in TFOs that are
absolutely
broken.
not. And we know at least one that is currently borked.
Two.
Two. Okay.
Two that I am trying to fix this week.
One of them was I've forgotten. The QA told me earlier.
But watch patch notes. Cure ground. There's an issue where sometimes some of the targets you have to blow up will wind up beneath the ground geometry. You can't target them, so I'm working on that. And Azure Nebula Rescue sometimes just stops spawning Romulan ships for you to rescue.
Which has been requested
working on
several
that.
times. Yeah. Oops. All right. You guys are going to try and shoot me while I'm closing this gateway? How dare you? Let me show you what for, sir. That's how Klingons talk, right?
Maybe in the 15th century. Okay, but now you have to cosplay this next year, right? A Klingon Renaissance man with like a stylish bat'leth as well as a stylish feathered cap.
But Jesse, I am not a merry man. All right, that gate's not down. Oh, they cut me off the last second, those jerks. Let's see. Will random queues take daily bonuses? I actually don't know the answer to that question. Jeremy, could you answer that in chat, and then I'll read out the answer on stream? Oh, there we go. The TFO rewards themselves will offer daily rewards, but the additional rewards you get from using the random system will not. So basically, as you are running your first TFO, or however the bonus thing works, you'll still get that as usual, but you won't get additional bonus rewards for playing random, other than the bonus rewards you're already getting for playing random. Someone's yelling at me, green portals, close green portals. Got it. On my way.
Yep.
This guy's doing a really good job of healing those ships and closing the portals.
Yep.
I'll go take care of that one if I can.
Oh, you got a gate you can close. Hit F. Hit F!
Press F to close gates.
Yep.
And pay respects.
You must play something other than spacebar.
But spacebar is all I know. Some men were born in the spacebar. No, wait. How does that quote go?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You use the spacebar. I was born to it.
There we go.
Shaped by it. Molded by it.
I didn't see an enter key until I was nearly a man. All right.
All right. Now the dreadnought that jumps around all over the place.
Oh boy. This is actually super fun.
Yeah.
I can't believe I've never played this one before. I should be ashamed.
Now you have no excuse.
Yeah. Any feedback you guys have on any of this random queue system, including things that Sir Boulevard is bringing up now, like reward levels not matching up for different queues. Let us know about stuff like that in the official Tribble feedback thread. It's on the forums, and I will link to it on Twitter after this as well. Please let us know that kind of stuff, because any balancing we can do to make things more interesting. Wow, this dreadnought is going to die.
Well,
Heck of
just
fast.
did.
Anything we can do to make this a more fun experience for everyone, we will definitely at least attempt to do. Unless there's a really good reason why, say, like Viscous Cycle doesn't give as many marks as you'd like.
Right. Get 2 marks and you like it.
Guys, that's not a design philosophy for Star Trek Online. I just want to point that out there before someone on Twitter.
I may be trolling.
They see me trolling. They hating. All right, anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get anywhere near these enemies before they get all blown about.
That thing got a serious alpha strike.
Yeah. All right. We will fight for Kronos. All right, so you can only get Iconian resistance marks or fleet marks for this one. But I will also get bonus rewards for doing the random TFOs. Let's see what those were. Let's see. So we would have picked up, if my inventory's full, it's probably in my overflow. Oh, okay.
There we go.
There we go. And then we can take, so we got 600 Dill ore, and we'll take 60 Lucari marks.
Hey, look, there's gamma marks.
Right there. Excellent. Wow, you've seen better days. I have no questions. All right, cool. Thank you. Let's queue up for another. Let's take that. Random. So as you can see, folks, this gives you a cool... Actually, I'm going to do random advanced. Oh, no, I'm not. Here we go.
Difficulty normal.
Difficulty normal is ready to play.
Few bugs there.
Maybe a little. Well, it's not supposed to tell you what queue it is. That's the point.
Right.
Because you don't want to drop out. You want people to drop out before the queue starts because they're like, "No, I don't like Big Dig."
That's so
Big Dig's
smart.
I know, right? It's like Jeremy thinks about these things. Okay, Crash Weed. There is a bug with the Tri-Cobalt mines. Okay, all right. Their cooldown is much longer. This would have been a good one to share with Jet while she was here. Okay, I will write that down and I will pass it. JE, sorry about that. You got a leaver penalty after being kicked by the server. Please mention that in the trouble feedback thread. That's not something we can necessarily fix, but it's something to look into. All right. Okay, Romulan Minefield. Hey,
Okay.
someone who knows this queue really well is here. All right. Oh, right, because you've got your
briefing.
your How to Fight Romulan Warbirds mission.
Yeah.
All right, so Jesse, what do I need to know about this queue? Assume I've never played it.
All right.
Because I've never played it.
You monster. So Romulan Imperial Minefield. Imperial Romulan remnant forces have taken over a remote mining outpost and are trying to gather the supplies from there in order to support their military efforts of reconquest. So you'll find a large number of Romulan ships hanging out, keeping freighters trapped here. The freighters are also surrounded by various Romulan mines, including cloaking tractor mines. So yeah, you'll want to have some way of getting out of tractor beams, such as evasive maneuvers polarized hull.
Crap is my evasive maneuvers.
Do you have a loadout on this character? Did that transfer?
I don't think I've ever built a loadout. Actually, I should do that.
So your team, with the help of Captain Nog and the Chimera, will be trying to rescue all of these freighters by destroying the Romulan ships and mines that are surrounding them. After you do so, you'll proceed to the various mining facilities themselves, destroy a contingent of Romulan ships there, and get the facilities back online, or at least stable so that the miners aren't in immediate danger of death. And finally, face down a Romulan Scimitar-class Dreadnought Warbird that is overseeing the whole operation.
Don't normally roll with tractor beams, but since I got them. I miss lock trajectory. I miss it so bad. Primer 13, if there is not a random TFO feedback thread in the Triple Forums, there will be as soon as the stream is done. Because if Jared hasn't had time to make it, I will have time to make it as soon as I'm done here. So we'll get that done and up for you. In the meantime, someone feel free to make one, and I can always merge them later on the forum. So if you have specific Trouble feedback, for random TFOs that you want to get put on the Trouble forums, make your own thread for now. I will merge them all later and make sure the devs know where they are. Odilic, no. The Narendra does not include a reskin of the Ambassador. That is not the purpose of that ship. If we ever decided to update the Ambassador, it would be its own release and not be bundled in with something else. So sorry about that, but we might get to it someday. Thomas likes to update ships.
It's true,
You never
especially
know.
Enterprises.
Yeah. Oh god. Healing powers activate. Lucari cheating module activate.
I see someone was asking about what happened to the Hypermass PvP map. We still have that, but our production staff is waiting for the right time to release it, which they have not told me yet. So we're keeping it secret and safe at the moment.
I didn't even know that thing existed. How old is it?
We made it back when we first made the Hypermass Gravity Kills TFO.
Okay.
So that came out with the Zenkethi.
Gotcha.
That's what, a year ago?
Yeah. As we fly next to a Zenkethi ship. JE, make your own thread for it. So when you get to the Trouble forums, there's a bug reports forum. Just make a thread, title it, kicked by server, got lever penalty. If production wants me to merge that with the other Trouble feedback threads, I will do so later. Jay, don't listen to Skooka. Do not spam me. What's the update on the mission journal streamline?
So it's a work in progress. We're hammering out a ton of various bugs that have cropped up in the journal as a result of working on this. So the basic gist of it is that we are going to take 4 of the current mission arcs and sort of turn them into optional side missions that you can do. And that's going to include the 2800 Lost Dominion arc, the Spectres Davidian arc, the Breen Invasion arc, and the Nimbus Wasteland arc. Except Romulan captains still have to play Nimbus. Sorry.
It's part of your story.
Yeah, Installation 18, the Alachi, Tilvan Kev's sister, all of that stuff is built into there. So the way that those will happen now is, as part of the Klingon War story, at the very end, you'll pick up a little mission called The Galaxy at Large, where Quinn talks about some of the various threats around the galaxy and says, hey, as a good Starfleet captain, you should be constantly getting involved in trouble. No, not like that, but you will be able to pick up handoff missions from your available missions tab or from Quinn directly that will then allow you to pursue those story arcs as normal. And you will follow them in the regular order. So instead of it being, oh, here's all 5 of the Cold War missions from the Breen Invasion, you'll get the first one and then the next one and then the next one and so on, and be able to play them as usual. Our ultimate eventual hope is that we can retouch or remaster these to bring up their level of quality, improve the cutscenes, add more VO, improve the gameplay, fix bugs, repair things with new tools that we have, do things that we couldn't do before. So for now, those will be side graded. Klingon War, similarly, is getting a heavy overhaul. Several missions have been pulled from rotation, and we will likely remaster those when we have the opportunity to put all of those new tools to work to make them higher quality. Ouch.
I got murdered.
Got stomped there.
Yeah.
Should have read that tactical briefing about fighting Romulans. So the Klingon War arc will consist of Stranded in Space, Diplomatic Orders, Researcher Rescue, Secret Orders, and Doomsday Device. And you will get credit for completing the arc once you have completed all of those missions. Anything that's removed from the journal, Delta recruits and temporal agents automatically get completion credit for. So you don't have something lingering in, oh, I can't get this marks box because I didn't finish the mission before it was removed. Well, we've taken care of that, and hopefully we will bring them back in the future, because missions like Past Imperfect and the story of the Kuvama, they are really great stories, but we just really want to bring up the quality level of those missions so that when they're some of the first things that new players see, they should feel good. We shouldn't be telling new players, wait till you get to the end of the game, then it's really good.
Yeah, no. All of our good stuff is in level 60.
Right.
Well,
wait, I'm going to play this for 18 hours before I decide whether I like the end stuff or not.
Yeah.
So we're trying to bring that all up to par. So that's kind of where things are with the mission journal reflow. You will also notice that there are new missions that are task force operation missions. You took a bunch of those early on.
Oh boy, that's
and
oh, never mind. That's because it's okay.
Yep. Task force operation missions just direct you to go and play a particular task force operation, and those become unlocked as soon as you take or skip that TFO mission. So that means, for instance, Azure Nebula Rescue will now be playable at a much earlier point in the story. When you start playing Romulan content, you'll hit that TFO mission, and you'll say, go do Azure Nebula Rescue. And now you can do it with your level 20 captain. That means that it will also work well with the random TFO system, because people, as they're leveling up, are going to be playing some of these earlier. But anything from those TFO missions automatically unlocks when you hit level 50 also. So if you're a veteran character, you don't have to take those missions in order to play your TFOs. They're still unlocked.
They'll still be there for you.
Yep.
Yep. Cool. What other questions we got? Apparently, let's see. Will we see more holographic bridge officers in the future? Probably.
Almost certainly.
I mean, as we get more celebrities in the game. We have talked a lot about finding new ways to make convention exclusives not as exclusive as they used to be. I know the idea was, make it special to have gone to the convention, but after a certain point in time, you should be able to get access to those things too.
It's like we do with the Phoenix Lockbox, where we make an exclusive for an event, but if you come in a year after that event has already finished, and you're like, oh, what's this cool thing that I really want? Well, okay, we'll have some way for you to get it later.
Yeah, so we're talking through how exactly we're going to do that. I've done a little bit of it over the last year with Jordy in terms of giveaways, but we should make things more available, and we're going to figure out how to do it. Let's see. Drogan wants to know if we can ever make all missions skippable.
Almost all missions are skippable in the revamped mission journal. The level requirements for missions are also going away. So the idea is that you go to the content that you want to play and you play that. If you have made a deliberate decision that this is a mission I don't want to play on my alt, or I don't like this story, or I started this mission and I can't finish it and I just want to skip it and go on to something else, when you're never going to say, oh, well, you have to go gain a level by doffing before you can play the next mission. You play the missions that you want to play.
That's cool.
There are
so will the missions will they be dynamically scaling, or will you run into problems? If
our missions are all dynamically scaling already, so their level of the creatures that you face will vary depending on your captain's level. There are a few missions that are not skippable. And these are typically handoff missions that are supposed to direct you to, here's how you get to this part of space, or here's an important part of the story that you need to know so that we can teach you a mechanic before you move on. But those are generally pretty short. Like, okay, I'm going to take this guy from one starbase to another starbase, and along the way he's going to tell me what's happening in this part of space, and now I'm done. But it's had taught you how to navigate sector space and get to an area where you're going to find those other missions. But almost everything else is going to be skippable. One of the other big updates we're doing is that Kobali Prime Adventure Battle Zone on the ground, all of that content is going to be optional. So you will get directed to Kobali Prime, but you aren't required to necessarily do all of the warfare stuff. You just play the story missions as part of your mission journal. What we're really leaning into is that the mission journal is sort of your directed story experience, but there's a bunch of other stuff in the galaxy for you to explore if you are interested in doing so.
Yeah. Let's see. Hunter Bahamut Zero wants to know if the USS Kirk will be removed from stories as part of the streamlining.
The USS Kirk still exists, but the missions that you play that it used to appear in are currently out of rotation. Once we remaster those missions, you'll likely see the Kirk show up again as we get the Kuva Ma back.
Yeah. All right, we're going to do advanced. God help us all. No, you're never going to get to shoot Franklin Drake / Sela / any of the other characters you will want to murder over the course of the game. You will never be able to shove Tovin Kev out an airlock. These things, they just aren't in your future. I'm sorry. Murder Trekkies. Yeah. Folks, I'm getting note from Jeremy that if you're getting lag, it may just be the Tribbles running on a little bit strained. It's got weaker hardware than our live servers.
Tribble's weak heart.
But, this will be on Tribble for the next foreseeable future. So, if you can't get in today, please come back and play some more and give us some feedback. As much as you guys can play this and look for things, the more likely it is that this will come to live with a very interesting and robust and finished system that everyone enjoys. So, yeah, there we go. Jim O'Neill, I don't know if we can make all. We're back here. Can make Starbase 1.
But on
words.
advanced.
Ooh, advanced. I'm gonna die. I don't know if we can make all cutscenes skippable, because that would actually, I believe, involve going into each mission individually and doing it, and there may not be time or resources for that.
I can actually answer that question. So, our cutscene editing tools are one of the tools that have markedly improved over the years that we've been in operation. But it means that it's very difficult to edit earlier cutscenes. Stuff that goes all the way through, like the Romulan Cloaked Intentions story arc, those cutscenes are often built using older versions of the tools that have various limitations. We can update them, but doing so is not easy. There's a lot of legacy data that has to be fixed, and it risks breaking the mission in various bad ways. I won't go into too much about
details,
that,
but yeah.
technical terms. However, it is one of our best practices that whenever we're making new missions, we make cutscenes skippable and optional. And as I go through and I retouch older missions, I also always try to make cutscenes skippable where it's possible. So I don't know that we're ever going to have a day where every cutscene is skippable, but you can look forward to them constantly getting improved on that front as the opportunity permits.
Yeah, and one of the things that Weston is really passionate about is going through older missions and improving some of the cutscenes that are from way back in the day. I've already seen some of the fruits of his work, and it's really, really cool. It's going to be a process, though, because it is just Weston. And there are a lot of cutscenes in this game. And he also has to make all of the new and exciting cutscenes like you saw for Victory's Life and you will see for Age of Discovery. So old stuff will get updated, new stuff will get made, and we will attempt to find a balance. And what did we just shoot that blew up all of those birds of prey?
I don't know, but
Man.
I will apply that same answer rubric as well to someone asking about when we are going to bring back State of Q, if you remember that old mission. And it's really a matter of, could we do something that turns that mission into something that matches our expectations? And it's honestly, it's very, very, very hard to say we want to do a Q mission, but we're not going to have John Delancey in as Q. So that is like one of the big hurdles, is how would we make that mission really cool and not do John Delancey?
Or do we bring John Delancey in and redo that mission and also do other stuff with him, which is possible in the future. It's not on the calendar right now, but
right.
I mean, he's the voice of timelines, so we know he does voice work for video games and Star Trek video games.
Right.
It's just a question of the right time and the right resources.
Right. So if the opportunity permitted, then we would take that opportunity and do that. But it's really a matter of when that could be possible.
Yeah. All right. Rose, thank you for sitting in chat and helping out with answering some of these questions. Cthulhu, this is not my original build before you fixed it. This is my post-year fix build. But for some reason, my trait, my power tray got all messed up when it got moved to Tribble. I don't know why.
Your power tray got messed up? Oh no, we should fix that.
I know, I should go through and fix it, but I don't want people to have to watch the stream of me just fixing things.
I'm more sort of referring to our long-standing power tray issues. It's a known bad, ugly thing. And I would love it if we could completely fix that up.
Yes, that would be wonderful. Whoa! I was watching the mini-map and just saw them all appear. That's fun. How soon will we announce the release date for Age of Discovery? I know the date. We will announce the release date for Age of Discovery. It is sooner than you might think, but
on that date, information will be released.
It's also in flux because there's always a chance that we will discover something horrible has happened and we have to delay the release date. And as always, we'd rather you guys know a release date that we don't have to delay. We hate having to be like, "Oh, this is coming out," and then have to be like, "It's not. Sorry, give us a week." So we're always going to err on the side of announcing the launch date later in order to make sure that you guys get the date we announce.
Is that guy tractor dragging those Klingons to death?
I think he is.
That is Fly.
That is Super Fly. Super Fly, Super Fly. Yeah, so that's an answer to that question. Are we going to use the designer's original Romulan warbird design? You mean the STO design, like from back in the back in Legacy of Romulus? Apparently, it was originally a carrier.
Ooh, the evacuating ship is getting wrecked.
Oh my god! I mean, am I anywhere near it? Yes, I am. Let's activate some Lucari cheating powers.
All right.
It's my favorite thing to do in this Kobayashi Maru. Anything where I have to keep an NPC alive.
Nice, topped it off.
Yeah. I don't know if you mean original STO designers or original Star Trek designers. I actually don't have any knowledge on that. But if there's a canon ship design that we haven't used, we'll probably use it someday. We're big into canon stuff like that. And as you can see from this ship build, I'm big into cannons.
Someone asked 2 or 3 times about the long-range targeting sensors issue. It's under investigation.
Yep. Oh boy, get over there and destroy that ship and save that ship. Are we getting Kelpian bridge officers? We can't answer that kind of stuff right now because we haven't gotten details about it. But I will say that Saru is very special in terms of being a Kelpian in Starfleet. It turns out that's much, much rarer than you might think. He may even be the only one. And that's about all I can say about that right now. Any chance of bringing back Temporal Recruit event? We've talked about it for Age of Discovery. I don't know if it's going to happen yet. We haven't confirmed one way or another. But it would certainly be a fun way to get people to come back to the game for a little bit. I think it would require some work to get it working for Discovery characters, but not in a zillion, million days of work. So maybe. It's certainly possible. Casey Morrison, we would love to do missions in-game based off of Jesse and my tabletop adventures with the USS Pathfinder. I don't think there's as huge a demand for that as there is for, say, Discovery content or missions with actors from the show. So we would love to do that. Maybe at the Foundry.
There are some heavy demands on my time as a designer.
Yeah. And that's the sort of thing we have to do if we're asked. And I don't think the people who would ask for that, like Al or Andre, have ever even watched one of those streams.
Hey, maybe don't die.
I'll do my best, but, it's very difficult for me. I very much like dying. It's a Klingon thing.
That makes sense. Okay.
Duncan, Idaho, maybe we could do a Pathfinder Foundry Challenge. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Orangitis, I know. I would also love more Shield of Tomorrow content, but since they're done producing episodes, and we've already put them in the game, anything else we do might be a little bit too navel-gazing at this point. I don't know. We'll see.
Right.
Those guys are super fun, and we love working with them, though. They're like some of my favorite people in the world.
I actually saw Xander over the weekend, and he was so stoked about the Sally Ride being in the game.
Where did you run into Xander?
Down in L.A.
Oh, nice. I need to hang out with that kid again. I haven't seen him since STLV 2 years ago. Let's see. Yeah, that's true, Starburns. It is only a real 10-4 weekly if I explode. But you'll notice I haven't exploded yet on this queue. So maybe this isn't a real queue. Maybe we're playing a prank on you right now.
A real TFO.
That's true. I'm sorry, I've gotten the language wrong.
No.
I, the man in charge of language.
Well, we're not prescriptivist here.
Yes, the Victory's Life Foundry Challenge voting begins September 21st, which is in a few weeks. We're going to be doing, I think this week, hey, make sure you get your entries in post to keep that moving. How many entries have you guys gotten so far, Drogan? What time are we at? Okay, cool. It's only 5:30.
Yeah.
Great. We can play lots more queues with everyone. Will STO have a presence at TwitchCon? That is a definite maybe right now. It's something that PWE is talking about, and we would like to do so. Wow, that was fast.
Here we go.
Yeah, see, this is what's awesome about this. How many queues have I played in the last, half hour?
I think you're on your fourth one.
Yeah, this is amazing. I'm just boom, 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 and this is on triple, not even a full
Starbase
population.
1 again, because it doesn't have a cooldown.
Oh, right. Okay, so that's going to happen when Starbase 1 is new.
Yes.
For a little bit.
Yes, you're going to be seeing a lot of this.
Yeah. Captain MD13, you may have missed our talk about this earlier. We know that you can't switch ground or space spec trees in random TFOs, and that is actually something we're figuring out a way to address. There will be a solution for it sooner rather than later, and it's something that we've had a lot of meetings and discussions about already. There's a wonderful email thread going about it right now where we're going, well, what if we do this? Well, that would break that.
Oh.
I'm not seeing any...
You wound up in a...
Finished queue.
Well, partially, because it's in the cruiser wave. So you have managed to load into a map that's having some sort of an error. That's really interesting. Software will have to investigate this to make sure this doesn't
that's
happen.
A problem. All right, so we're going to get
So
ourselves
sorry,
a lever
folks.
penalty by leaving this queue.
Record.
And I don't know that I'll be able to play random TFOs with a lever penalty.
You've got a handy console command that'll fix that, don't you?
I don't know that I have permission here because I'm only access level
right.
4. I may have to message the Jared and ask him to fix it.
Right.
Just a moment. Jesse, do something entertaining while I'm texting Jared. They can't see you now.
Just imagine I'm doing the soft shoe. I'm really hustling it. Man, back and forth. Jeez, with a bum leg, this is extra difficult. Yeah, gotta work the arms.
So someone noticed that the sunlight coming in through the window here has only reached about here on you, and they've said when it reaches your head, it will reveal the location of the Ark of the Covenant.
Bum, 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 bum. Don't look, Marion.
That was a pretty good indie impression. Can you remove... Actually, let me just... Because it would be a good bug report to know that if I... Oh, okay. I did not get a lever penalty.
Okay.
That's something we should look into.
Yeah.
That's definitely a thing we should look into. All right,
That's why it's on triple.
let me scribble down some things that we've discovered so far. Loaded. Hopefully people are watching the stream too. Into broken map. No lever penalty. There's probably people in chat right now going, no! Make sure there's no lever penalty. But no, there's going to be a lever penalty, guys. So you can't just be like, I don't like this one. I'm out. Oh, okay. The cooldowns are currently turned off on Tribble. That would explain why we're getting into it, according to Jeremy. Someone's saying open the UI, bro? I don't know what that means. But anyway, we're here. We're waiting for it to start me up. Cthulhu, yes, QA is like the Magnificent Seven, but cooler and more badass.
Very true.
Yeah. David Wolford, that is a really interesting idea that I'm sure systems will be very interested in. Jeremy, are you listening? He would like the ability to have the entire crew vote to leave a queue if it's broken or something, so that they can leave without penalty. So that you won't get a penalty. You won't get a penalty for leaving, but only if everyone in the map votes to leave. That sounds cool to me.
Oh, Brotherhood of the Sword.
All right, I haven't done this one in a while, and I died horribly last time I did it.
Yep, you are on a shuttle that is currently descending to Kronos. Remember those transport ships in Gateway to Grethor that were getting past the radiation? You're on one of them.
What on earth happened to my power train? Why? All right, we'll just summon some fish. All right, so it looks like there's 3 of us. All right. Here we go. Iconians everywhere. Better hit them with my sword.
This one requires cooperation. If you have not played this before...
I played it once before and definitely died a lot.
Yeah, well, you're on advanced, so you're already fighting at a penalty there. And you need to...
Where is my healing power? It's not here.
This is going to be definitely hard with only 4 people.
Yeah, for sure. But we seem to be doing okay.
I mean, you're not all dead.
Where's my freaking healing power? Because I'm going to need that. Okay, I also need some Peck Lightning. That's very important. Okay, I don't see it. Oh, well. Oh.
Zolp.
Thanks, Jeremy. Thanks for hanging out in chat. We'll see you soon. All right, so talk to me a little bit about what I'm doing on this queue here. Jesse.
Alrighty, so the Iconians have invaded Kronos. There's various Iconian devices that have been set up. They are ominous, so you're trying to turn them all off. You are, with your team, going to be trying to find all those devices, and then someone will work to deactivate one of the devices, and as soon as you see that comment, it means that you have to have people in place to deactivate the other 2 as well at the same time.
Oh boy.
You have a very small window of opportunity to finish it. In addition, little optional things are going on as you are running around, like rescuing a Klingon Honor Guard group that is being attacked by the Iconians.
Alright, so this is another one of the devices that we need to...
That's one.
I see somebody's already over at this device over here. Ah! Okay, you can stop now. Looks like the 3rd device is in the exchange?
No, can't get into the exchange during this map.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
There it is.
Okay. So it looks like we've got somebody at that one.
This was a fun TFO to make because it was a nice opportunity to use the Kronos ground map and warfare it up.
Yeah.
So this is actually happening on Kronos. Things are getting really bad. Boop.
Okay.
You know, what this needs is a little UI bar that appears in the side showing you how much time is left for the deactivation so that everyone on the map can equally stress about it at the same time.
I think we got him.
You'll see a cutscene when you do, like you did last time. So you got 2 of them, but not 3.
Gotcha. All right, well, Amadeus is on that one.
Beep boop. All right, hit him.
Just gonna run over to this one just in case. All right.
Someone else got that one.
Hey, cutscene! We did it. Good job, everyone. What if the Iconians are just trying to install public Wi-Fi for the Klingons? Then why did they set everything on fire? That's not how you install Wi-Fi, Duncan. Not how you do it at all. If your repair guy comes to your house to set up Wi-Fi and sets your house on fire, fire that repairman.
Release the Targs!
I can release the Targs?
You can release the Targs from the Targ pit so that they will attack the Iconians.
Where?
You have to get into the Targ pit. There's a doorway that you can use once you get down into the Targ pit on the other side of the...
Over here?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, and there's an Iconian device right on said Targ pit.
Hmm.
Oh, shit. Oh, dear. Luckily, I have the Zenkethi equivalent of a Gatling gun.
Targs went out really bad.
I'm trying. There they go. They're out, I think.
Nope.
Just one of them managed. Oh, somebody has summoned a Targ pet. I
Yes.
see.
Now.
Release the Targs. Okay, they're already on it.
Someone did it.
Good job, Excellency.
Excellent. Well done.
I think the Targs are dead, though, because the Iconians jumped into the pit and killed them.
Well, they died honorably.
Yay!
We will
next
remember
area.
them as bacon.
Alt Lexington says this is a great mission to practice their ground build. It certainly seems like this is actually a lot of fun. The first time I did this, no one explained to me the whole do the things in sequence, so we just failed in the first area. It's definitely a mission that requires communication.
Yep.
Nope, that one's already been deactivated. Excellency's got that one.
There's one more lurking out there somewhere.
Oh, there it is. Oh, no, I'm not going to make it.
That's fine. They can just refire the other two when you get there and hit it again.
Security, defend me.
Good call.
Boom. Got this one. Woo!
All right. And now the
Herald Leader.
Herald Leader.
Oh, it's pretty big.
Yeah.
Let's go murder
Flies
it.
too.
Woo! You know what that means. Hit it with my sword! Okay. He was just standing there, and I was like, am I about to Leroy Jenkins this?
Why did we never make a specialty mechleth called the Blade of Inevitable Gravity that cancels flying on enemies?
Oh, that would be amazing. We should do that.
I know, but the irony of I'm going to use a melee weapon against a flying guy to negate his flying... Wait. It's an order of operations problem here.
Well, it obviously fires a beam at a flying enemy that grounds them instantly and then becomes a melee weapon. This guy is reachable. I know he is. I just need to hop on. He moved. Charge! Drive me closer. I want to hit him with my sword. Can we add Delta Recruit? Can we add recruitment events to C-Store packs? No, probably not. It's not how that works. That's not how any of that works. But
Right.
it's an interesting idea. Bye, Harbinger.
That's probably someone who played those personalized events in certain other popular games recently where you have the ability to turn on a specific event for yourself. That would be a significant technological investment for us.
Yeah. Apparently people are screaming at me in-game, but I have the chat box closed. I don't know why. Well, I think I have zone chat closed too, so they're closing at me there. We'll take an Iconian mark package.
Bink.
And look, it's 5:40. We still have time for at least one more queue.
One more. All right.
We've played so many queues today, you guys. Even with one broken one.
Another advanced. You're really
Yes.
pushing your luck.
Well, I've done okay.
How many injuries do you have right now?
So many.
Let's see. Currently, it looks like none.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Wow.
All right, here we go. Let's see if it's something new. Karma plasticity. For the love of Q, you can have a kit module pet inventory tab, but not right away. It's on Jeremy's list of things to do. Alt Lexington, yes, I like melee a lot. I know it's not the way you're supposed to play this game, but I love it, so. Let's see. Cthulhu, Zone Chat, not even once. I actually have had some fun times in Zone Chat. I've done AMAs in Zone Chat before and enjoyed myself.
So when I decided I'm doing the board ground TFOs, actually my captain always carries the special Lurpa that you get from the Halloween episode.
Oh.
Because the bonus psionic damage and chance to stun, very handy against the board.
That's true. Huariant? Oh, no, it wasn't Huariant who asked that. Aspectral Stargazer.
Oh!
Ooh.
Oh, you got Cure Ground, which is known to be broken!
Oh, boy! Hey, guys. We're gonna do zone. No, local.
Well, this guy says, I just played this one, so it should be a cakewalk. Let's see if he is actually able to figure out a way to do it. This is perfect. I want to watch this, actually, so that I know exactly what I'm looking for.
All right. Hassel 4, it's not that bad to get into a queue with me. Whatever. You guys, whatever. I'm gonna do really well, you guys. Oh, we need an EV suit on for this?
No.
Oh.
It's purely flavor.
Okay, I'm gonna destroy the control terminals. Not that. No, it's back up this way. Nope, it's not. What am I doing, Jesse?
So there's a series of board transformers here that have to get overloaded by switching them on in sequence.
Okay.
So
right now we've done that one, and now we have to do this one? No, we have to do that one next.
Right. So as you switch them on, Borg will show up to try and intercept you. It's also possible that you've been running up, only one person can use them at a time, so you may have been running up on one that another person was using, and it takes a little while for a transformer to overload.
Okay.
Try the second one.
This guy up here?
See if you can interact with that.
Oh,
there. Oh,
boom.
went. Okay. Kabam. And so now we wait.
Yeah, supposedly Borger's supposed to be showing up to try and kill us now, right?
Well, not for the very first one. Reconfigure transformer. Someone's already on it. There we go. And then this will blow up and it will open the force field and let you in. So this is showing you how the transformer mechanic works. Later you will do this again in the mission, and then Borg will be trying to overwhelm you.
Gotcha. I'm going to go do what everyone else is doing and stand by the gate.
This could maybe stand to go a little faster.
Yeah, this definitely could stand to go a little faster.
This is one of our first pieces of queued content.
Primer 13 says we should have Jesse on every week to teach Kel a new queue. I actually kind of agree with that. That would be fun for me.
Okay.
But do you have time for such things, Jesse? I know how busy you are with everything.
I gave up sleeping long ago.
Hey, you know what's great, though? I actually have the...
oh, they're slow running. We've never figured out why that happens. I need to look into that again.
And certainly they're not using the new death animations.
Yeah.
So who are these gentlemen in force fields?
They're captives that are...
now free.
Yep.
Except one of them with a drone? Oh, they've adapted. But I actually have this equipped.
Yeah.
Because my thing was all screwed up.
Elite tactical drone on advanced.
Stop adapting.
Use melee.
That's true. That is actually usually my board technique. I had forgotten.
Can you scan the body? The one lying there, the drone.
Take genetic sample. Oh man, Jesse, this is one of them cues that teaches you nothing, huh?
Mm-hmm.
We might want to take a look at that.
Hey, the original version of this was 45 minutes long.
I've heard that we used to do cues like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm glad we no longer do.
So this one, you're trying to blow up that thing in the middle, but it's generating these shields to defend itself. So someone has to get in past the shields and set a bomb on it, and then boom,
Like
there
that.
it goes.
It goes up.
Yep.
A Stargazer, you're right. I was about to reply to you and I got distracted. Remind me what your question was. Will missions change that have optional dialogue that recognizes that you've been in previous missions? Like, oh, Captain, it's been a while since I saw you at such and such. If those missions are now optional or removed, will that dialogue be changing?
Any time that we do that, we always put a logic gate on it that says, if you have played this, then this character recognizes you. If you haven't, then they don't. So if you're playing a veteran character who's played something where you've met a particular person who shows up later, you will still get the dialogue saying, oh, hi, it's good to see you again. If you're playing a new character who doesn't have access to those missions, you'll be meeting people for the first time. And then as we remaster missions and get them back into the rotation, all of that will update along with it. Alrighty, got that one out.
My security escorts are much faster than me, it would appear. They just adapt to lightning?
They do adapt to electricity. Otherwise, everyone would use Tesla cannons! Another one of those little turret drone things.
Ah, here we are.
Right. Gotta get that one. So basically with the turret, you shoot it until its health drops to 0. Then it goes into this turtling mode. Someone has to drop a bomb on it, and then
someone else must already be doing
someone is presumably interacting with. Yep, there it goes. Kaboom. Meanwhile, these Borg transformers are also going into overload mode. Oh, that thing just turned on, so now you got to kill it.
Okay.
As you can see, there's a lot going on in this TFO, and it sure could use some more explanations.
Yes, agreed. It's from the era of MMOs of you don't need to know things.
Just figure it out.
Just figure it out by going on the forum and stuff. What happened?
You've changed your...
Oh, I was trapped in... the camera's stuck because I'm trapped in the cover shield of this.
Right.
Thing.
Ba-boom. Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
Now there's another transformer down there to do. Okay, stop.
Yep.
Can I reconfigure this one?
Looks like she's got that under control. And Borg are now appearing at the ones back at the start of the group in order to try to stop them.
Any minute now. Okay, well, we don't need 3 of us here. You guys got that, I'm sure. Guys, we're not bringing no-win scenario back. Stop asking. And I love you.
Oh, it didn't fire. Your power didn't fire off because something else was queued up.
Oh. Well, that's okay.
Remodulate. Okay. Nice use of knockback there.
Alright, looks like Firestar here has already gotten the 4th one. Whoa!
Oh!
Whoa! This is the problem with those, oh dear. What just happened? Funny thing is on stream, they probably can't even see that. I got knocked out to the login screen in Windows, guys.
Yeah. Kaboom.
Future past now, there is some fun in players having to figure out how things work. Absolutely, 100%. There is no fun in obtuse design decisions that mean that you have to go to the forums and look up a design guide written by someone who spent, 4 or 5 hours trying and failing over and over. There's levels. I don't think every game should have hold your hand tutorials for sure, but I do think games
We're not making Dark Souls here.
Yeah, I think games should be fun. You can't adapt to my sword, stop trying. Yeah. Okay.
Get the genetic samples from that dude.
He's already on it.
Nice. Rescued that guy.
There's no force field.
Beautiful.
So
yeah, he got rescued already.
Great.
So, moving on.
Destroy all Borg turrets in 15 minutes. We got 9 minutes left.
This'll be easy. We're getting some effects issues with the rain there. We should talk to the environment team about that.
Yeah.
So someone just asked Zenkethi Boff when. So
Pretty much.
Zenkethi use a special animation rig, which means that they're not compatible with most of the powers and actions that we use in the game. Everything they do has to be custom animated. So we can't do them as a Boff because there would be no way to reanimate them for doing every possible animation that could show up with a Boff using a power that you could get or any cutscene in the game. Anytime we add a new power that's, oh, there's a new kit power that your bridge officers can be trained in, and it has to have a special animation built for Zenkethi. It's not sustainable.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. It's the same reason why we don't have Horta or Tardigrade Boffs. We would love to do that, but it's just not likely. There we go. Charge!
I see someone using the transporter rifle, always a winning choice against the Borg.
What do we got? Baby Tardigrade shoulder-mounted catapult when? That sounds like an April Fool's idea if I've ever heard one. Okay.
It must be Armech
with no,
no
punctuation
punctuation
at all. What do you need punctuation for?
You're
it's
making
got-
good time, though.
Yeah, 8 minutes left.
I don't know who Armech is.
Neither do I. We gotta locate him, I guess.
I guess we're going to kill him, though.
Or save him?
I don't know.
Someone said I remember playing The Cure back when it was grounded space in one go.
Yep, that was the
sounds like a lot.
45-minute version, where it was basically, this is a mission, except it's super hard, and you have to play it with 5 people.
So, Jesse, we just explained about special animation rigs, right? I'm not going crazy because someone just asked for a Tholian buff.
Right, exactly.
See, previous answer. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
They've upped the dosage.
All right, they were all murdered before I could hit a single shot because my team's real good.
You have an extremely efficient group of murder hobos there.
Cardassian VR pack in the C-store would be kind of nice. Like virtual reality?
I think he means very rare Cardassian bridge officer.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, you
Because
can pick those up.
It's really hard to get them, and it was bugged for a while.
Yeah. Tardigrade ground combat pet, maybe. That sounds interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Although, are you guys not happy with having a freaking velociraptor that breathes lasers from its mouth
Oh
as
my
our pet?
gosh, I can't wait to have that.
I know, I've been trying so hard. Oh, I don't think I played my breach today. Oh, boy.
Well, after you play this queue, you can play another queue.
I can. But I'd want to go on live to do that one.
Exactly. No missed opportunities. Reconfigure. Gotta
She's
hit
already
that.
out. There's
No,
someone right there.
no, not what? Okay, now there is, but there wasn't before.
They were
'cause
standing right there, though.
there was a button.
But they were standing there.
But there was a button.
Why am I stuck in this hole, Jesse? Call environment. Call environment. I'm stuck. Look, I can't even jump out of this thing. Old queues need love.
Yeah.
The first part of love they're getting is the random system, which will get you to play them. The second part of love they're getting is us going in to fix them all.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yes. It's just.
It doesn't
mean.
want me to be melee. It
It's
just
mean.
doesn't want me to melee. And apparently I can't shoot it either. There we go. Stop adapting! It's like... I'm really having trouble shooting at this thing. Photonic Kitten, I can't wait to have my dinosaur either. Why are AI ships that the player can play have more HP than the player? Why do enemy ships that are cannon ships the players can fly have more difficult to kill when they are enemy ships? Because we want you to have challenge in the game. That is the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Don't need no knockback. Just shoot him. Sir Boulevard wants to know if we would consider restoring the Elite version, the 45-minute Elite version, in exchange for putting massive rewards at the end of it. Please skip that.
Today's not the T6 rep talk.
John Sparks Jr., the T6 rep top was like 2 weeks ago. You can find that on video on demand on our YouTube channel. So go look it up. RTK142 wants us to not do Mirror Invasion right after Breach. I think I can promise that we won't.
Okay.
I'm not sure I can promise it, but I'm pretty sure I can. Ah! Is it because it's like an energy sword that they seem to be able to adapt to my melee attacks?
If it is doing plasma damage, they will adapt to the plasma.
Okay.
They still take the physical damage, though. Spectral Stargazer. So, playable android. Basically, that is one of the few things that we have a hard no on.
Yeah.
We are not allowed to put into the game. So, out of our hands.
Yeah. They just basically, they don't want there to be a million datas running around, which I kind of understand, even this far into the future. Sequest says, no, don't do the full version ever again, please. Someone else says, please do Mirror Universe right after the breach so they can continue rocking up to Lithium.
I think you might have to run the entire map.
What?
Yeah, I don't believe that any respawn points were ever put in.
What?
Well,
hold on. According to my map, the other players are right here. So.
yes.
Oh, is this not a way I can go?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Okay.
Go.
I'm running. I'm
Run,
going.
Kale,
I'm going
run.
as fast as
Oh, there they are.
the
Okay,
body
so
can take me. Okay,
someone
respawn
did
points
fix that.
exist. Does the sniper in the corner thing still work on the boss character in this map? I
We'll
don't
find
know.
out.
We'll find out. Would it be possible to update existing unique racial traits to be for both space and ground? Possible, yes. Likely in the near future, I don't think so. That's something that might be put on Jeremy's list one day, but there's a lot of other things, like Pet Tab. Orangitis wants a 3-week arena of Sompek, proving himself to be the only person in the world who wants that. Will we add in one elite mark in the epic reward for random? That's not actually the worst idea. I'll talk to Jeremy about it. I think they may not want to do that for reasons that I don't know right now, but it's certainly something to ask about.
Why can you have 5 SROs but only 3 Jem'Hadar Vanguard? As a Jem'Hadar, even though they're not as good as SRO. I don't know. That's really a question for Jeremy and the systems team. Do you want us to nerf the SROs?
No, this isn't working. Swords! I said swords!
Which sword are you using? It's one of the falchions, right?
Cool assassin plasma blade.
Okay.
Alright, do we have to stand on different platforms to shut down the generator? Is that how this works? I think that's how this works.
There's
Whoa!
What?
What was that?
What? There's a thing that you have to blow up.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man who designed this queue doesn't remember how to finish this queue.
I did not, in fact, design this
TFO.
Okay. I only know it from having played it.
This person is standing... Oh, come to point blank and blow them up. Okay.
Yeah, so there's special things that you have to click on and blow up there.
Okay, well, there we did it.
Yeah.
There's invisible people, apparently. That might have been the broken thing that they were talking about, where the enemies at the end
It's
are
entirely
invisible.
possible. So these use... So remember how we talked about we have better tools and better technology now? We can make better content? These use one of those really old style pieces of tech in the game that could be done way better now. Because you've got this thing you have to target and shoot, but it doesn't actually appear as like a targetable entity. So could be done better.
Yeah. What is the Christmas ship going to be this year? Really cool. Really, really, really cool. I'm probably building it up too much, but it's one of my favorite ships we've ever done.
Wait, what? Never mind.
Law Street says, nerf everything in STO, and Jesse Heineck did not make this. Be nice to him. Law Street, if we made the Arena of Sompek permanent, no one would play it. The point of having events is that they are events, and that you play them when they come, and they're awesome. It's not a Breen ship, you guys. I can tell you that much. It's not a Breen ship. Now we have to defeat Armac. Okay, so I guess we are here to kill him.
Oh.
Wait. Waiting. Go.
Go! Everyone,
I can't.
Get him.
I can't.
That's the
target
plan.
Him. I can't target him.
Is he going to not activate? Oh, there he goes. He said something.
He said something, but he's still not targetable.
It's fine. It'll be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. Just believe in it.
Oh, I hit him! I hit him! Oh my
is.
god! Hit him! Hit him, everybody! I still can't target him, but he's
That
dead.
was fast.
So.
Oh, and you got
I'm
assimilated and died.
So this queue has some issues.
So what you're saying is,
I'm back, guys.
amusingly, I was.
Oh no,
actually,
I'm still assimilated. I'm attacking my friends.
I
Oh
was,
no.
I was just loading into this to work on it right before I came here.
Okay, well, so Jesse will fix everything, guys.
Thought we didn't talk about upcoming content.
Yeah. All right. Cool, guys. All right. Well, I love you all. Thank you so much for joining us. Jesse, thank you for joining me. Thank you, Jet and Thomas, for joining me earlier. We had great fun. We'll have this up on YouTube channel tomorrow, so if you missed all of it or some of it, then watch it there. And thanks, everybody. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye now.
Have a good
Goodbye.
one.